Joe has a toe injury. Bengals Joe Burrow on crutches wears boot after toe injury forces him out of win over the Jags. So toe Joe article has been updated. Bengals coach Zac Taylor confirms Joe Burrow will have surgery on his left toe. The quarterback could miss 3 months. We know Cincinnati, C is the third letter of the alphabet. Also, Cincinnati Bengals in the language in the reverse cipher 303, like 33, like 3, right? So the article has been updated. You see right there, Bengals coach Zac Taylor confirms Joe Burrow will have surgery on his left toe. Could miss 3 months, right? So, we're gonna take a look at this.
Burrow's questionable with the toe. Video suggests a turf toe mechanism. The foot is planted, pointed down, and force comes directly through it. Monday MRI probably pending, but average takes 4 weeks, and quarterbacks do use the toe to generate push-off strength
Right.
when throwing.
Okay, so just a quick little video there just to get some visuals.
Burrow's questionable with the toe.
You see, I see he's got 9 on his jersey right there. So he's got this toe issue. Okay, in this game, this victory over the Jags. Now, I want you to see right there. Look at Joseph Lee Burrow, 213. Jacksonville Jaguars, 123. You can see Joseph J. Jacksonville J. Jaguars J. And take note in our head that it's 14-7 as you see Joe Burrow laying there on the field, appearing to be in pain, right? So just a mental note, we may hit on like a 147 later. But you see that you get all these J's, you get 123, 213. And you can see right here, even with that full name of Burrow that he has, look at the full name 192. He plays for the Bengals. 129. This is a number that's been popping up a lot with these trending stories. And you could fast forward a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Look at that's ABC 123. It's always going to be 127, okay, with Joe Burrow. Just like assassinate equals 127. We just had an assassination story lately with Charlie Kirk, huh? See that? 127, 127. Even Luke Donald, the golfer, his birthday is 127, December 7th. And he is also was trending within the last week. And obviously he's got that Donald name, and I show you how all this stuff connects in the mainstream. Luke Donald, the 127 birthday. We even had baseball player Anthony Rizzo retire, New York Yankees, and but he retired as a Cub, but his last team was the Yankees. And New York, that's we just had the 9/11 anniversary, and buildings 1, 2, and 7 crumbled. Okay, he even finishes his career with 1,727 RBIs, or excuse me, playing 1,727 games. So you get that 127 there. And there's more 9/11 connections because you can see that Cincinnati Bengals 156. That's the 156th prime number is 9/11, 911. Jacksonville equals 191, okay? We're just past that 9/11 anniversary, remember. So these numbers are relevant to the time that we're in right now, okay? That's why you're going to get Cincinnati Bengals story that's a top trending story. Even Joe equals 30 like 3. But you're going to get this Joe Burrow injury story with the Bengals by the numbers, okay? And it's all kind of like symbolism. These stories, they're kind of like half truths, right? And we put together the puzzle pieces, okay? Obviously, I can't believe Luke Donald was trending talking about Donald Trump, and not one time in the article it says anything about his name's Luke Donald talking about Donald Trump. Ha 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 ha. Right? I mean, that's just not normal, okay? It's even an 88-day span from this Burrow injury Sunday in the victory over the Jags, an 88-day span from the injury to his December 10th birthday. It's a span of 88 days, and Trump equals 88, right? I think even the mainstream has caught on to the Trump 88 thing. I mean, text where, Minnesota, wherever you live, right, during the elections, the selections, text Arizona, text California to Trump 88022 or whatever, right? His mom died at 88. Trump equals 88 and all of that. So you get that Trump connection. Again, even Joe Burrow was born in 96, the year Tupac died, with the Tupac. Look at assassination, right? Now we get the Charlie Kirk assassination, but we never heard of him until he got assassinated. But now he's everywhere in the algorithm thanks to the mainstream, right? You even have decoders that won't stop talking about Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? It's like move on, okay? Really riding that wave. So you can tell who's authentic when doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like move on to the next decode. Like they want to update every update with his fake story. They want to come and make a video. That's just super cringe. It's like, what are you know what I mean? Like, who are you working for here? But anyways, look at that 96 connection. Tupac's death date anniversary, 2 days after 9/11, and that's the 29-year death anniversary for Tupac, and we just had the 24th year anniversary of 9/11. So all of this stuff around each other in the time frame. Remember Tupac's birthday 2 days after Donald Trump even, okay? It's just overwhelming because remember Joe has the toe injury. Notice how toe injury has 137. That's the 33rd prime number. Remember, he could be out 3 months. Cincinnati Bengals 303 like 3 in the language. Even Joe equals 30 like 3. C Cincinnati, the third letter of the alphabet. But 137, that's the day that Trump And you saw Biden there, right? Because Joe Biden, Joe Burrow, you get JB. Obviously, Biden connects to Trump. But 137, this mouse is glitching. That's annoying too. Canva stores the photos and the slides. If you don't want to, if you don't want your Google storage to fill up while doing this, you can download them to Canva. Um, right? It just, if I do this a lot, so I have a lot of accounts that I got full with presentations, but I don't like to fill uh, my Google account. Anyways, so I'll send them to Canva, which probably is just another account getting full, or maybe not. I don't know. It's early. It's 4:30, or it's 5:20 a.m. where I'm at. But look at that. Trump got his ear, uh, a part of the script. Remember his storyline? They said his ear got shot. That was the 13th day of the 7th month. And I think that was last year. I mean, the way time flies. Toe injuries got 47 like Trump, and he's the 47th president. Toe injury has 106. Remember the Capitol riot was on 1/6, January 6th. They say Trump caused it, right? His son Eric's birthday is 1/6. His vice president's wife's birthday is that same 1/6 birthday. Toe injuries got 52 like president, government, and White House. So you're not going to find a Donald Trump story mentioning Joe Burrow, okay? You shouldn't anyway. I'm not saying that they connect like that. I'm not going to say this is a ritual. I'm not going to say that, right? I've never been in the room watching anybody perform a ritual. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I think it's kind of like a trendy thing now that people say that, okay? It may not get that deep, and it may, but this is a computer running like a simulation, right? This is like stories pumped out by the language. Insert character here by the language. That's what it is. Okay? That's exactly what I'm saying right there. Even injury, the fake ear shooting, kind of like an injury. Okay, we have Joe Biden, Bengals even B, Burrow B, Biden B. You get the Joe connection, Joe with the toe injury. Notice how the toe gets injured on the day leaving 108 days in the year when Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. equals 108. That same full name for Biden, 351. Now look at it from right to left, 153. When Joseph Burrow equals 154. I thought that was worthy to put in here just to show you how if the stuff doesn't straight up match, you can see how close. It just always reminds me of like a slot machine where it's kind of like a lot. It's kind of like a lottery. Like you pull the lever and then it matches. Ding ding ding. Kind of like that, right? Because it's like a lottery with these characters. You have other characters with the same numbers who may also be popping up trending at the same time, okay? But you see 153 and then you see 154 with these characters. And there's that score. I didn't try real hard to make that score land. Donald does equal 31. Bengals with the victory by 4 points, scoring 31 points there. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars they did score 27. So, I mean, I guess if you want, ritual equals 27, but that stuff's becoming basic as we kind of grow as decoders. Not saying it's not relevant again, but when I first started decoding, I was quick to be like, oh, ritual 45, ritual 81, ritual 27. It's just because the word matches, you know what I'm saying? Just because the word matches, it's kind of like an easy go-to as a beginning decoder. But yeah, don't let me trigger anything as far as using that. I mean, it's relevant, right? I don't really mention it too much myself. As you grow and advance and you see how all these characters are connected, some of the basic ways of decoding just kind of like go out the window because you can just go a little bit deeper and completely show how this stuff's fake, right? So, anyways, that's my thumbnail right there. I'm going to see what the updated article may see if they just changed. We might look at his coach real quick, Zac Taylor. There's been a lot of names like that lately. So this is Zac Taylor confirms Joe Burrow will have surgery. You get Taylor and Tyler Robinson. They say assassinated Charlie Kirk. And what's the other guy's name? Uh, Tommy Robinson that was trending. I just made that video. I'm still not. I think he's over there in the UK, like a right wing extremist or something. And Terrence Crawford beat Canelo. So you got Terrence, Tyler, Tommy. They mentioned Taylor here. Confusing, right? They mentioned Zac Taylor here. I'm just going to enter the coach of the Bengals because I just wanted to see what popped up. Okay, I don't see anything. You may enter the coach name and his birthday may be today or something. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't appear to be the case with Zac Taylor. So I just want to scroll down the article now and just see. So Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow will have surgery on his injured left toe. You remember Biden on the left as well, right? Trump right, Biden left. But this surgery on his injured toe, Joe Burrow confirmed Monday. Taylor did not have a timeline for when Burrow will have surgery. The turf toe injury is expected to sideline Burrow for a minimum of 3 months. Let's put turf toe in the calculator. And remember, Cincinnati Bengals, see the third letter. Cincinnati Bengals 303 like 3. Turf toe. 33. Turf toe 33. Right there. Like 3. And there's our Zac Taylor connection right away. Turf toe 105 in ordinal. Zac Taylor's birthday 105. The 10th day, the 5th month. There it is right there. There it is right there. You see that? That was completely organic in a non-organic world. Look at that right there. You see that? That did not take long, did it? Turf toe T, Taylor T, Trump T. Third major injury in his 6th season since being the top overall pick. There's another 3. Bam. There's another 3. Look at that right there. And the Bengals are trash, man. They're always going to be trash. Even, look, they wear orange. Orange equals 33. See, everything's ran on the language. Look at that. And 30. Like 3. Fake world, right? Fake world. Remember, Joe equals 30. I'm telling. Look at that. And, the 51-15, that's like the 10th day of the 5th month that we just hit on with the Zac Taylor birthday. Turf toe 105. You get the 1 and the 5. See that? So, we go solid on the fly, man, for real. Right? Nice on the fly connections there to go with the slides already. And they're just going over his stats and everything. Right? So I'm sure there's something that I missed. I'm sure. It looks like, is that Jaden Daniels now with the knee injury? McCarthy's got a sprained ankle. So look at all these injuries. Jaden Daniels, all quarterbacks. Shit, maybe you could say it's a ritual. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, that connects to Trump with the Washington connection. McCarthy and the Vikings, right? Minnesota, the Twin Cities, kind of like Twin Towers. Look, he's got number 9 like Burrow on his jersey. See that? Sprained ankle, right? Fake world. Okay, Bengals were 9-8 last season. The Bengals' next opponent will be, let's see here. Next opponent will be the Vikings. And for the Jaguars, looks like they're going to host the Texans, okay? Looks like they will be hosting the Texans. And let me just get back to my article here. This is Associated Press, by the way. Bengals coach Zac Taylor confirms Joe Burrow will have surgery on left toe. QB could miss 3 months. I mean, that's the decode. What do you think? Until next time.